As you may know, spray lacquer has been my go-to finish for most of my woodworking projects for years. It's the fastest, simplest way to achieve a strong, durable finish that just looks great. And I've always given the same application advice that's on the can. Build up the finish by spraying on light, even coats. And in general, that's a pretty good practice. But I've discovered that for tabletops and other horizontal surfaces, thick, heavy coats will give you the finish that you really want. So let me quickly demonstrate my technique first so that you can just bail out of this video if you want. But after that, I'll have some more information and notes if you want to stick around and learn more. As always, make sure that you sand your workpiece before you apply any finish. I usually start with a 120 grit sandpaper and then I move up to a 220 fine sandpaper. If I'm just going to be finishing plywood, I usually skip the 120 and just go right into the 220. And of course, make sure that you remove all of the excess sanding dust. This artwork has exposed plywood edges, so I'm just going to hit those first. Then I move to the face and I spray it on pretty aggressively with the can about 3 or 4 inches from the surface. Keep your arm moving parallel to the surface without rotating your wrist. Don't let your motion stop. I overlap each pass, first moving across the grain of the wood. Then I immediately spray on another coat following in the same direction as the grain. The best part about lacquer is how fast it dries, usually in about 5 minutes. You can touch it, and as long as it's not tacky, you can go ahead and apply your next coat. Same thing as before, thick, heavy coats going in both directions. And after another 5 minutes, I can apply a third coat. If you set it out in the sunlight, it'll dry even faster. And once that third coat is dry, lightly sand it with some 220 grit sandpaper. The goal here is just to remove any bumps and imperfections that are on the surface of the lacquer. And you can sand in any direction. You don't have to stay with the wood grain because you're not sanding the wood, you're just sanding the lacquer. Then I apply one final coat, the top coat, just like the others, heavy spray in both directions. And once that top coat is dry, I like to buff it out using craft paper. You can also use just a brown paper bag. The longer you can buff this out, the smoother the finish will appear. It'll feel great to the touch and it'll have a nice satin sheen. You've probably seen me demonstrate this before, and I believe you should do this on all finishes. And that's all there is to achieving a beautiful, durable tabletop lacquer finish. If you'd like more information and notes on this, stick around. So for the past year, I've been obsessively working on this pyrographic art project to illustrate all 78 tarot cards as wood burnings on plywood. And that's how I got to realize how effective this method is. It's almost like an epoxy resin finish, but it doesn't look as plasticky. In the past, it seemed like getting good spray lacquer results on a tabletop was very time consuming because I was so intent on following the multiple light coats advice. It ended up taking like 8 or 10 or even more coats to achieve the look and durability that I wanted. Tabletops always require extra attention that the rest of the furniture surfaces don't really need because they don't have to put up with the same levels of daily use and abuse. And this is the important distinction I want to make here, is only use this heavy coat technique on horizontal surfaces. If you try it on a vertical surface, that lacquer is just going to run, it's going to leave drips, and it's going to look horrible. And this is probably why the manufacturers, rightly so, play it safe and always recommend multiple light coats. My method of applying a heavy coat in 2 different directions and then doing that 4 times is about the same as 16 to 20 traditional light coats of lacquer. And by the way, I like to apply it in both directions because it helps direct the lacquer into the grain of the wood and kind of fill up that grain to assure an even, smooth coat. I also want to point out why you don't need to sand between coats of lacquer. It's because it's not a layered process. Each coat doesn't need to grab a hold and bond to the previous coat like polyurethane or some kinds of varnishes do, where each coat needs to be kind of scratched up or roughed up so the next layer has something to adhere to. Each coat of lacquer chemically fuses into the previous coat. And as something of a side note, it's worth noting that when you sand the lacquer before that final coat, it's just to remove any dust or imperfections. You can wipe off that sanding dust if you want, it's just lacquer, but you don't have to get crazy about it because any lacquer dust will just melt into the next layer when you spray it on. As for the lacquer itself, these days I've been using Watco lacquer. It's readily available at the hardware store near me and it works really well. I only use the satin finish, but you know, it can't hurt to experiment with other brands, whatever you have available. I used to love using Deft lacquer, but for whatever reason, it's not available anymore. And I also have tried the Minwax lacquer and have not had good results with that at all. You can also use brushing lacquer, which I have used pretty extensively in the past. It's basically doing the same thing as I'm doing with heavy spray coats, but brushing on lacquer takes a very special technique. A high quality brush and kind of a practiced hand to achieve good results without leaving brush marks. Plus, you need lacquer thinner and the whole cleanup process is kind of a pain. Spray lacquer in a can is just a breeze in comparison. You can also use my technique with a powered sprayer, but that's beyond what I want to get into for this video, which is intended for beginners and hobbyists. All of this is really a good example of why I love woodworking. I mean, sometimes the truths that we've always taken to be gospel have room for nuance and re-examination. After at least several years of making things, I'm always learning something new. Obviously, take safety rules seriously, but feel free to get creative and experiment with any other aspect of your woodworking. There's no right or wrong way to approach woodworking or its methods or its techniques. Live your own experience and enjoy the process. Also, if you're interested in checking out my esoteric wood burning artwork I've been making for the past year, you can follow me over on Instagram or TikTok at Burning Dark Art. Thanks for watching, everybody.